There we go. Okay, so good morning. I'm so happy you're here, of course, as always. And I just want to do two quick anatomical pieces before we begin our movement explorations together. So the first one is kind of my favorite one of the moment. I think I only have 3 classes in the week, but I think I've shown this now. This is the third. Maybe I did it last week, maybe, I don't know. This is your pelvis. I'm not going to go into how this is actually pelvis and this is spine, core. That's not the point right now. I'm looking right now at the 2 pelvic half bones, one of which, if you take it off, looks like this. Have you ever seen a more sporadic bone, right? So you take one off and you get that. And this is where my hand is of course the ischial tuberosities upon which you sit. And what I'm showing you here is that if you look front to back from the pubis all the way back to the rim of the ilium in the back, you see quite clearly that the ischial tuberosities are front pelvis. They're not back pelvis. They're front. That's important. You see where my fingers are? This is pretty accurate. You know, these things are not always accurate, that's for sure, but this is pretty accurate for the level of the ischial tuberosity with your hip joint, which you know to be front. Okay, that's first. Then the other thing I want to just show again, we did a bunch of this a few weeks ago. This is the ethmoid bone, and it's a skull bone, and I'm showing it to you here in its place, where you also see it in there, in through the upper nasal pathways. It forms the 2 upper conchae in your nose through which you breathe, and the breath spins. It's a very porous bone, and suffice to say that it has suffice to say, it's even science, it has a levitational effect here in your right behind right behind the nasal bone, about 2 finger breadths in on your body. Ethmoid. Ethmoid is at the opposite end of your spine, where your tail is down at the bottom. It's directly connected. It's not imagination connection. It is actually connected by fascial tissue all the way up the front of the spine from the tail, the anterior longitudinal ligament of your spine, all the way up into the front of the foramen magnum. I'll just show you here. It comes here and it goes forward in the skull, and it goes forward in the skull all the way to the ethmoid. I'm trying to do this fast. All the way into the ethmoid, which is deep in the front skull. Deep in the front skull. You see? So what I'm showing you here for your consideration is that energetically the ethmoid is the top of the spine. Energetically, it rises as the coccyx, its partner in crimes, as the coccyx goes down. So we end up with this movement in the whole vertebral column that is up with ethmoid and down with spine, with coccyx. So you can't do this. Watch me. That's not ethmoid. Ethmoid is going to be all the way through the spine. You can see the difference in the movement. There's a kind of an elegance of continuity here, and here there's a kind of an, I'm looking for something. At least that's what it feels like. All right, that's it. Now we play with it. So how about we sit? How about we sit for a moment? Just easy. We're going to take a couple of seated positions, and then we're going to bring this kind of this reaching movement of the ethmoid into our practice, and then we're going to add how the ethmoid is assisted by the arc of the occiput, right? The arc of the occiput will take the ethmoid down, and the ethmoid rises as the arc of the occiput supports it. Have a seat, hands on thighs, and let's practice Ujjayi. So the Ujjayi breath coming in through your nasal pathways is touching all three conchae in your nose, the little turbinates that spin the breath so that it can be more ready for your body. That's what's happening in there. It's spinning the breath, it's moistening it, it's warming it, and it is touching it into the Ajna chakra, the third eye. It goes up and around the palate in the back of your mouth, and your breath slides down through your trachea and spreads into your lungs. Now take your arms out like this, Ujjayi breath. And imagine, notice, feel the cells of your body are calling for the breath. So you're not pushing your lungs. Your cells of body are calling for the breath, and your heart and lungs are accommodating. Someone needs to mute. Check yourself out. Yeah, someone needs to mute. Sounds like it. All right, let's take the arms out and up. So keep your fingers kind of free here, and the sensitizing of your hands quite free. And then with an inhale, as if it's arising from the full of your lungs, cells calling for breath, reach all the way out and up. And use this as an opportunity to float your ribs up on either side of your spine, dangling your spine upward from the thoracic region, and then dangle the coccyx and the sacrum down. And let's twist. As you're inhaling, touch right at the crown, please. Touch at the crown, and then go in a little bit, ethmoid area. Inhale, and as you're exhaling, there's that levitational reaching up and over with the ethmoid as you bring your arms down. So you wouldn't be just turning. There's a little bit of this, oh. If you remember from last couple of weeks ago when we were doing this, birds have ethmoids, and they have little particles in there that are magnetic receptors. And these magnetic particles take the birds on their direction, wherever it is they're going. Yeah. And they come into relationship with one another in these magical kind of V's, right? So it's like we can feel ourselves as kind of the lead bird here in our own bird body, up and around. Is your tail in the game? That's the question. Now, as you're inhaling, come back around, reach arms out and up again. Soften right behind your forehead. It's 2 finger breadths in. It is not the skin of your forehead. It is not the frontal bone of your skull. It is in there. Inhale again. And exhale, spin it around and keep that little liftingness of the ethmoid. Where's your tail in this? So a spin that crosses across your vertebral column, you know, it might push on some organs or stuff like that, but it's not what we're doing. We're reaching the tail down as we come around and take the twist. And you can play with it. It's also very close to the level of the jaw joint. So, you know, we have that as one of our our spots. It's forward of the jaw joint, but they're all in there. All right. And as you're inhaling, come back around. And once again, take your arms out and up. Soften the soft palate. Stay wide under your tongue. Nice and easy. Inhale. And as you're exhaling, come right down the front, Anjali Mudra, but don't collapse the spine. It's being suspended in more ways than one. All right, here we go. Come on out to hands and knees. We'll start there. And as you get into your hands and knees position, you can explore both this levitational bit in there, that, and the elongating aspect as well. So like the bird in the sky here. So you're going along and don't harden your mouth. You'll lock yourself right out. Stay soft in your mouth. Almost like a searching kind of like, which way are we going, bird? Ah. And bring it into the usual cats. Exhale, you round. Feel the fluids in your skull wash forward and down. As you're inhaling, you come out, you peek upward. Ethmoid. As you're exhaling, bring it down as you normally would. Let the fluids wash your front, skull and bones and brain and vessels, and then inhale and bring it back around. Soft in the wide back mouth. And play with it. Exhale, you're rounding. So any kind of thing that you want here. We've been playing, of course, with rolling around this stuff a bit. You cannot do anything wrong here. What you're doing is you're looking for, probably everybody in this class has a lot of skill about, you know, what you're looking for. You're playing around with the good stuff. You're playing around with the stuff that supports you here, right? So you can ripple through your belly tissues a little bit. You've got a long, soft core. And now you've also got, or you always had, this bony connection right into your Ajna chakra, right in there. All right, so play with it. You never have to do what I'm doing. I'm just showing you what my, you know, is what I'm doing. Right there. But I'm looking in my torso too, because in going into the bones of my spine, I don't really want to drop this delight of the thickness of me, you know? Now, when you're ready, when you feel like you've spun this up a good amount, you can come back to center and slip your weight all the way back into downward facing dog. Your head starts to release. You feel the fluids. Remember, we've been in the lymph and all of that, the cerebrospinal fluid in the skull That's all part of the thick. That's part of the thick, and that's awesome. And it goes right through the thick of your back mouth, under tongue, in down through your throat, and into the rolling around luscious belly. All right, now bring it down to a plank, and see if you can find luscious belly, luscious soft core supporting this of the spine, and then roll down, side supported plank, roll down with this right knee. I'm not going to straighten the back leg because I've just been playing around with not straightening the back leg, but I'm rolling around and I'm rolling around and I'm integrating the coccyx, the ethmoid, and the luscious. You do whatever you want. Breathe. It's Ujjayi. There's no right place to put anything. If we were looking for some specific push, for example, of the foot to the head, that'd be one thing. We've been looking at that a lot lately. But what if you don't do it? That's okay too. You wouldn't want to step forward with that, but you can do it like that. Let's wrap this arm around. I'm letting my torso come forward as I wrap my arm around, yield and push down more, and I'm releasing my head. Blah. Deep breathing. Now, as you release your arm from the wrap, take it down and let that bring your head up and your tail awake. And turn over it. Child's posture. We're going to go to plank again. We're going to go to knees, chest, chin. As you're inhaling, come through hands and knees and plank. And knees, chest, chin. And cobra. And downward dog. And back to plank. Find it in your forehead, find it in your coccyx, and if you like, go to the luscious sinewy core also. And then take your knee down, other knee, roll around it. Let the luscious sinewy core roll open here. It rolls open, and we keep the of the spine. Your arm maybe comes up, right? Maybe you didn't do that, maybe you did. Still working with an Ujjayi breath, and your Ujjayi is not being pushed from your nose or from your lungs. You're softening into the cells as you know how to do, and feeling the desire, your body's desire for the breath, and allow the cells to call for it. As you're ready, we'll wrap this arm around if you did, and take it back. Yield, push into earth, and allow head to yield toward earth. Unhinge your jaw. Pelvic floor, a little pulsing up in there. So got that movement that goes up through the sinewy, and then your arm is down so that you can reach it away as you bring your head back up from the ethmoid, and then bring it around. And you'll take child's posture again. Child's posture. From child's posture out into plank again. Now, if plank is too much for any reason, just keep your knees on the ground. Otherwise, we'll hold this plank for, 5 or 6 breaths. So not too bad. 5 or 6 breaths. Where's your head? So it's possible it's dropping down. That would be a reflex. There is a reflex that would do that. So that could happen. So activate in the ethmoid skull there. Keep space in the mouth. Feel it. And here we go, knees, chest, and chin. Down you go. Stay on chin this time, because chin on the floor actually lifts the occiput bone there. It lifts it up. And point your toes away. Your forehead's already lifting, right? So don't roll your head up particularly. Just come out through the lifting forehead, which is ethmoid right now. And then as you're ready, downward dog again. All right, let's bring this into a pigeon before we get up to standing. So you'll take your right leg and you spin it around and take your right knee all the way to touch right wrist. I'm doing it without props right now, even though my hip is going to be off the ground a little bit. I'm okay with that right now. So you can choose. And then I am going to come down, see what you think. I'm coming down, I think you should too, in order to feel the connectivity of the coccyx to the ethmoid. Now I'm going to make sure I can keep that as I, from the tail and the ethmoid, up I go. You too. As you're up here, you can find the ethmoid quite clearly by the touch of your breath. The breath is touching in your nasal pathways to the upper two conchae. That is the ethmoid. There's no mystery in this. It's right there. You know how we've always said the bones of the head are transparent to the breath. That's something we've been saying for a long time. And this is a big part of it. This particular bone, it's very porous. All right, let's come back. And if you like, you can take your right leg up behind you and even take a full vinyasa. So let's play with it. Inhale, you come forward a little bit to get out. And then turn your toes under and push and thread the top leg. Don't swing it. Thread the top leg up, 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 up. The foot away from the head. Head soft, releasing. 3 breaths, play with it. Now you'll come out and over. Choose chaturanga if you like. I'm choosing plank. Inhale as you're exhaling into whatever your posture is chosen. And then everybody down, knees, chest, and chin. And then everybody cobra. And everybody Adho Mukha. So if you came to child's posture, somebody just come on into Adho Mukha with us now. And the other leg. So you bring it up spinning and your knee goes all the way to touch the left wrist. Back leg down, slide back, your choice, amount according to your comfort. And then finding this for yourself. If you face your forehead to the floor, you'll feel that there is this upward pulsing right in there. And then from that, you can lengthen out, and you got to start with the tail. The tail has to be there. You can't bring it in later. So you come down again, and the tail goes away, and the ethmoid rises. Don't collapse in your ekapada. Oh, but it's a bird pose. It's pigeon. It's pigeon. Big puffy chest and head up effortlessly. So that's how we one of the very, very good ways to save all the neck issues is to get the weight out of the head and to integrate it all the way to the tail, obviously. Now come down and then move forward a little bit. The back toes turn under, and here we go. Now don't swing your leg up. I know you can do that. Instead, keep the leg bent and thread it up, almost like that reaching away tail of the bird, right? And breathing. And then your vinyasa of choice, plank or chaturanga, knees, chest, chin if you like, upward dog if you like, play with it. And all the way back. Child's pose or Adho Mukha. No need to strain. Choose your best medicine, please. All right, now hop a little bit. Now in your hopping with your 2 feet, don't hop up. Just up right where your feet are, hop them up off of the ground. And I want you to feel all the jelly of your body. Let it be a little bit jelly. You feel that? Boom. That's fat and fascia and supple stuff that you actually kind of like. All right, and then settle it down. Rest your forehead. Draw your legs back. Breathe deeply. 2 more breaths. Perfect. And then walk or hop your feet to your hands. Come on up there. Slide out. Choose your good medicine here too. Keep the space in your joints. Drop your buttock bones down. Stay here and then pour out over it again. Uttanasana. Good. With an inhale, come on up. Exhale the weightedness of your pelvis right through your ischial tuberosities and into the ground. And it's Tadasana. So you stand. And I want to just show you how forward your ischial tuberosities are. You see my fingers? That's how forward they are. That. All right, so here's the pelvis. I'll move forward, you can see a little better. Here's the pelvis, here's the pubis, here's the coccyx. This is when a pelvis is suspended properly, not anteriorly tilted like every single skeleton you've ever looked at in a class. Bad image, it doesn't help us. We talk about how it goes like this, but we gotta see it. You see that? My pubis is here. Your buttock bones, how far forward they are. You see that? That's for real. All right, now you're gonna come forward into Uttanasana again. So let's reach arms up and create length in the vertebral column here by dropping the coccyx, right? Ethmoid up at the top has this little bit of levity. And then the coccyx dropping is light, we know this. The bones of the ischium are heavy and they're going straight down through the ischial tuberosities. Coccyx, you don't tuck it. It's just there. It's the pelvic bones that drop. All right, now, as you're exhaling and you're coming forward, listen to me. Don't go back, even with the buttock bones curled. Let's stay here and let's go forward. So now I'm actually going forward. I'm not hinging my hips back. Forward. You bend your knees a little bit. The buttock bones swing down the whole way. That's what we're looking at. They swing down the whole way. And then as you get into what may be a full posture for you, where you could even straighten the legs, there's no No problem with that. You can straighten the legs and push into the earth. The buttock bones are still forward in the pelvis. You're not doing this. This is way up with buttock bones. This is a fragmenting. It's way under and forward. Now to come up, swing the buttock bone, swing the ischial tuberosities forward as you rise. And down the front, Ujjayi Mudra. All right? All right. I'm going to use the chair to assist myself in Surya Namaskars today, as I usually do. Standing. So tendency may be to take the ischials back, or another tendency may be that we think we're going to roll it from up here, which is fine. That's fine. But that does not increase the density and the release of the ischial tuberosities. That's part of what's different. So you feel the density and the release of them. And as they go down, they give weight to the pelvis. And what comes up is the light. Anjali, exhale. Yield, push into earth. Inhale, reach up, even peeking up. Play with the sinewy of you and whatever is working for you in this particular exploration. As you're exhaling, forward, not back, forward. As you're inhaling, ready, the buttock bones have gone a little forward, and then exhale, plank or chaturanga dandasana into upward facing dog. And all the way into downward facing dog. Buttock bones, forward pelvis. So there's a big space. This is another thing about the experience of the pelvic floor. There's a big space from the ischial tuberosities all the way through the back pelvis, right? And that includes that space underneath the coccyx, that arc in there, the sciatic notch, big space back there. All right, exhale all the way to empty, and maybe you jiggle a little bit so that you don't forget you're all jelly, and then walk or hop. Inhale, wave out. Exhale, pour down. Swing the ischials forward, reach up, and exhale. Ujjayi breathing, we'll do it again. Release arms down, simple Tadasana. And inhale, reach out and up. Long breath. Exhale, the full length of your breath to get forward, don't hurry. Inhale, slide out. Exhale, plank or chaturanga. Sweep forward, soft mouth, soft forehead, lively tail. Exhale all the way back, Adho Mukha. Pulse the tail away. You can take your time getting into Adho Mukha. It can take more than one breath to get there. Keep breathing. 2. Let your arms just fly out of your chest if that's possible here. In other words, there's no shoulder joints. There's just this continuity of wings from right inside the deep torso. All right, and then maybe jiggle, maybe not. Walk or hop your feet to your hands, wave out. Deep breath, fill the back and the low lungs. Exhale, pour it down. And now fill the lungs, spin the buttocks down, fill the lungs low, mid, top for the reach, and Anjali Mudra again. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, forward. Then knees, inhale, wave out, and exhale, your choice. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Now, you're going to keep your back heel off the floor. It'll be a high lunge. So push off and make sure the push gets to your head to step. And then step your right foot up. And you stay up here a little bit. So you could be here. You could have your arms up if you like. I'm going to use my hands on my chair. You could have hands on blocks. You're in a high lunge. Slice the pubic disc up into you, pulse the pelvic floor, find your reaching coccyx, and stay awake up in the top, ethmoid. Good, now release the knee down. Take your right hand to your thigh, receive the pubis up, don't get heavy in your pelvis. If you get heavy in your pelvis, you lock out the tail. Your pubic disc recedes up, it's awake, it's this bright stuff again, and the tail's awake, and then you inhale. And you're rising, and you've got this beautiful way that you can elongate through your up arm side body, and let's arc it over laterally. So again, you could use the chair, your hand on a block to the right side, or not. It's good to touch something. And if you like, you could touch onto your thigh as we started. All right, now push down, don't get heavy in the pelvis. The pubis recedes up, the coccyx is finding its way down, and you're rising. Exhale, bring your hands back to your chair, straighten your leg. Inhale, plank. Exhale, your vinyasa, whatever you like. Just keep breathing. Is the pubis heavy? Careful. And then back. So I'm saying pubis, you know I mean the pubic disc. Oh yeah, it's your pubis could be heavy. It's the pubic disc you use to lighten it. Let your arms fly out of your torso. There are a lot of reasons that using the chair is a good practice. You don't need to do it all the time, but it's a good practice. And now we're going to step forward with the left. And as you yield down, if you're on a chair, you're going to be yielding down. As you yield down, that Pinocchio and angel string from the pubic disc takes you upward. Coccyx. Ethmoid. Ujjayi. All right, and as you exhale, you take the back knee down. Left hand goes to thigh. Inhale, you reach up. And we'll arc it over. Toward the front leg side, a lateral movement that affects the whole body. Keep breathing. And here we go. You come up again. Inhale. And exhale. Take it down. Inhale. Back up. Step to plank. Your vinyasa. Through and up. And downward dog. Child's pose is fine at any time. It's not a failure to rest. It's wisdom. All right, here we go. Walking or hopping your feet up to your hands. And you wave out with an inhale. And you give it up in a certain way as you exhale. And then Swing the buttock bones under you to come up. And exhale, Anjali Mudra. You feel how swinging the buttock bones is different from bending your legs. Come down and do this with me. If you just bend your legs, which is going to help you, and come up, you're going to be taking it much more in the torso. If you come down, you're doing it with me, right? And you swing the buttock bones up. Wow, it's different, right? All right, we're going to step back into a couple of standing postures. So first one's Trikonasana, coming from a step back. Here we go. Inhale. As you're exhaling, you're sliding down. There it all is again. And bringing in the personal responsibility of the belly pit, the soft yield of the heart. Perfect. Now I'm using my chair and yielding into earth. My left leg rises and I take it back, articulating as I push into chair and rise. Trikonasana. So there's this bony connection that we feel. Very clear. And then you can integrate it with, as we've been doing this, the sinewy of the core. The bony connection won't take you as far into the asana as the sinewy if you add it. It's very fluid, right? The thing about fluid is that it has all different kinds of density. There's not one fluidity. The fluid in your body, in the cells, the cellular fluid is gel. Gel stuff. The interstitial fluid is gel-like. That's because it's got water and proteins in it, like jello. All right, let's bring it down. Inhale, integrating everything as you go. Take your time. There is no hurry. Better to feel the game than to just move. No. Spin around, turn, push forward, wave out. Pour down. Swing the buttock bones under and rise. Other side, inhaling and exhaling. Slide around the beauty of it. Place your hands and it's your opposite leg. So for me, my right comes up and I shoot it back. Pubic disc, pubic disc, pubic disc. And as I spin the heel to the floor, oh yeah, that's that ilium in the back. Pubic disc stays light. And then I come up and around. Coccyx, open. Ethmoid. And then how do I get the kind of the fluid range that I want to feel here? And that's by going into this core, soft, jelly stuff, the organ core. And then as you're ready, you pull back around, taking your time, feeling what you're doing as you do it. And when you're ready, that back foot wants to get all the way to your head as you step. Wave out, pour down, and rise up. And down the front. Viparita Trikonasana, inhale. Exhale, you slide down. Slide down, I'm busy thinking. And bring your hands to the chair. Your left leg goes up and you shoot it back. You articulate the arches of your feet, help you find up through pelvic floor, recede, lighten the pubic disc as you're ready. So it's an elongating in your spine that this ethmoid helps. You can't have it and just roll into a twist. It's just not going to be there. You got to go coccyx, coccyx. Oh. So how many times have you heard elongate your spine in yoga? A bajillion. That's how many. Now we see there is this genuine magnetic drawing of the ethmoid that is tethered down with the coccyx, which is surprisingly light and spacious. Coccyx goes down. Magnetism again, I'm sure, obviously. All right, come around it. Place your hands, light the pubic disc, spin the back heel, wait for yourself, don't hurry. If your head is down, it's not what we're doing. If your head is up and you just move it up, it's not what we're doing. You find it from the coccyx, you feel the spacious spatial reach of the ethmoid, and you exhale back down and rise up. Ujjayi, soften to feel, and here we go again, other side. Down you go, and you're ready. You place your hands, and you're ready. You draw your other leg up, and you step it back, articulating the front pubic disc, the inner toe balls, the first, second, third, and then the outer toe balls, ischial bones, the big ischials, and then rise up. Wait, don't rise up. Don't rise up. Take twisting triangle. Spin pubis up and turn. Roll open. Did you lose it somewhere? Did you? I do. Don't you? So how do you find it again? You go from one end and the other. You got to go coccyx and ethmoid. They're the ends of an elastic strand, like a rubber band. One goes one way, the other goes the other way. They have to. And then they can condense back, right? So you elongate, and it's a rhythm. It's not a hard spot. It's not so stuck. It's not stuck. It's stable in its resilience. All right, come around, pubis. And then spinning the back foot, check in if your head is low, you're not connected, and then step up. Wave out and pour it down. Rise up. All right, let's take the full Parshwa Tanasana. So we'll be wrapping our hands around behind back. So here we go, readying up here. Inhale. Where are your buttock bones? Where are the ischial? Buttock bones isn't not the best word, is it? They're not back there. They're the ischial tuberosities. I'm gonna have to change that in my language because they're not. And it does make you think that. Here we go, down. They're swinging ever so slightly forward as I go down. Are you exploring? All right, I'm gonna step my left back first. So going down with the right, stay steady and shoot the left back. Articulate again. It's the inner foot, the toe, the big toe that goes to the pubis. It's the outer foot that is up in the ischial rim up there. And then you push into the earth with both, and the pubis rises, which gives you the light of the posture, and then reach up with both arms. Now, while you're up with both arms, hook your right thumb in front and slide your fingers up and actually arc back a little bit, but don't arc back by pushing your chest up. Lean back and then slide arms and fingers back. Let them fly out of your shoulders, you know? Good. And then come on down, Anjali in the front, and spin your arms around behind you. Give yourself room and bring it into reverse namaste. Come back up, yielding, pushing, rising through the pubic disc. Lean back, slide the organ core in front of the spine. Peek up with the levity of the ethmoid. Ajna chakra, soft, receiving, levity. Here we go. Come up, come up, come up, come up, come up, come up. As you're exhaling, you'll come up, out, and over the front leg. So take your time again. Pushing, pulsing, pubis, pelvic floor, coccyx, Ethmoid. Breathing your rhythm, going as far forward as feels like your best medicine right now. No further, no less. Your best medicine. Find it. All right, here we go to come up. So you yield down again and push. You know the pelvic floor rises to bring you up, but check this out. Lift the pubic disc up and you rise too. And release arms. Reach up, inhale. Draw hands down the front. Exhale and step forward. Push into earth, inhale, rise up, and Anjali. Tadasana. So in Tadasana 2, there's a profound levity here in the pubic disc. It doesn't go away. It's always there. It's one of those strings that takes you heavenward, and right at the back of them are these gnarly bones. Other side. Here we go. Inhale. Feet are together. Exhale, slide down. Explore. Differentiate. Articulate. Soft, deep attention. All right. And then go deep down in the left. And your right comes up. And you'll step the right back and begin your articulating, incorporating the pelvic bones as you do, pubis rising, and then your left, so you're up, and then your left thumb in front and reach up. Lean back just a bit. So when your forehead tips up, you can tip right from the ethmoid. And if you're not sure what that is, when your forehead tips up, you'll feel the ethmoid. You'll feel it. All right, now bring your arms up. You come out of the little back bend of it in order to get your arms around to reverse namaste. So make a little room back there and slide your hands up. And then as you pulse hands together, pulse disc, pubis, pubis, coccyx, oh. And lean back. Roll gaze up. Let the gaze follow the ethmoid rather than the other way around. All right, you're coming back up, so you're collecting. You can lift the occiput, roll your head around the arc of the occiput to help bring it up so it's light. And then you're here and you release your arms, take them up, big reach. And Anjali Mudra. And you push and step, collect. You're down and then you rise, inhaling. All right, and exhale down. Tadasana. Do you want to do something fun? Okay, we'll do something fun. You're going to come on down to the floor. This is going to be fun, maybe. And have a block. A block, it's going to be way back where your feet are. Now, I can't actually do the thing that I'm going to show you to do, but I'm going to approximate it and get as close as I can, just like you are. So first of all, I'm going to bring my hands like this, and I'm going to figure out where my torso is going to go on them, and then I'm going to extend my legs back so that I can find the block. Oh, maybe I can do it. This is what you're doing. All right, you see what I did? So let's do it together. You can just place the block back, any amount. And let's do this. In fact, can you get your arms right into you like this? So I'm actually using my arms. When I come over it, my arms are supporting me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out to the side here. I'm not doing that. I'm right in here. Are you there? All right. Now figuring out an approximate distance, go ahead and take your hands flat. Now that in itself could be a problem. That was the part I thought I wouldn't be able to do. Take your hands flat. Sarah, you can't do this. Sarah Mullen, you can't do this. I can barely do it. Anyway, you squeeze your elbows in to your torso, and then start to come over it and take your toes on your block. That's it. Straighten your legs, take your toes on your block. Are you doing it, Kate? And everybody release. Good. Back up to standing for a moment. I didn't really get a chance to see many of you because you're low in the picture. Back up to standing. So, you know, many of these things where we stand on our hands in any way will also involve a little bit of range of motion in the pelvis. So we're going to bring this leg up and hook it like this, you know that, not in Padmasana, but up here. But in the hooking of it, you're going to pay a lot of attention to how, oh, that I'm swinging it, I'm swinging and rotating so that the ischial really does go forward. All right. So bring one of your legs up in that manner and your hands to Anjali Mudra. And then you take a little journey down. Now, as you're journeying down, don't flip your ischials behind you. We're not going down like that. We're going down, down and down, down and down, down and down. Ischials rolling forward. So this is about it for me. I've got my forearms on my, above my elbow on my foreleg, and I'm quite happy there. You do want to come down a little bit. Now, to get up, swing the ischials forward and rise. All right, let's do the other side. The ischials are forward, and this one rises up, and we take the journey again. I'm not asking you to flex your spine. Your spine may flex, but remember, these are separate bones. We're talking about the two pelvic bones, not your spine. Do not tuck your tail. It's not necessary. And then to come up, swing them forward and rise. Good. Now, pasasana. So you're going to come down, and I'm showing you, I'm going to sit on my block because that's the easy way to do it. You sit on your block like this. Pasasana, if you like, could be up like this. You could do it that way. My heels are off the ground when I do that. I'm just doing this because I like it like this. And then where are your ischials? Watch. Don't do this. Don't try to take them back. Don't do that. Half of you probably do that. You see what I've done? No. Ischials go with the legs. All right, and then let's turn. So you're going to go toward your either side. I'm going to my right, and you push a little bit and pull, push and pull to turn. Where's the light? If you clump your spine with your pelvis, you will lose the whole freedom of the entire spine. They're moving separately, but unified. We differentiate, and then they move all harmoniously. Now, if you like, I'm going to stay here. If you like, take this hand and hold your leg, draw your leg across and hook. So you could be here. I'm going to be here. Have your ischials, ischial tuberosities, have they become a little uneven? Yes, they should. The ischial to which you're twisting should be a little further back. Your ischial that you're twisting away from slides forward, as does that knee. Yet you keep the inner legs together. Yeah. All right, come around. Stay at neutral, don't go anywhere. And we'll go the other way. So I just have to tell you one thing. It's possible to keep your ischials forward, but be fragmenting. They're forward in space, but I'm actually fragmenting from my pelvis because I'm doing the thing I have such a pattern of doing, which is sitting up and, you know, the buttock bone's a bit back. They didn't move, but I did the action, which is a hardening. You see that? Don't do that. Keep the, when they're connected, they'll pulse my feet into the ground. That's what you're looking for. Here we go, and here we go. You can draw your legs across a little bit, turn a little bit more. Don't try to hold your ischials in the same spot because you'll harden in your spine. If you like, you can come around now and hook. Good, and then bring it back out and sit at neutral. All right, you're gonna take the same thing at the wall, and what we'll do, here, pretend my wall's right here. You're gonna take yourself across. You're gonna hook this one like that. You see how far from the wall you have to be? A full forearm's distance. My hand needs to be on the wall, and then this one on the wall. So I use both arms into the wall to push. So watch me if you're not sure, and you need to be, as I said, a forearm's distance from the wall, not right on the wall, this won't work. A forearm's distance from the wall, and I come around and I hook. This hand goes to the wall, and then I come around the back and the other hand goes to the wall. So it's this. All right? Oh, if you don't have a wall handy, you can use a bit of furniture. You just can't apply the same pressure to the furniture that you can apply to the wall. So if I use my chair here, I have the same thing. It's this. So you can use your chair. It works pretty well. But with the wall, the great thing about the wall is that if you like to do things like these things, you learn about how to support yourself all the way through your body, because you can really trust the floor and you can really trust the wall in a way you won't really trust your chair. Okay, so you're doing it. One side. Okay, good. Now, Jessica, and it's probably a lot of other people. Remember you were good. Stay there. Remember your head. So much better. Nice, Dale. And beautiful, Lakshmi. Couple more breaths. Don't push too hard. You know, if it's a deep posture for you, which it probably is, you don't want to push, push, push. Let your body have a little movement here. Nice head, Heather. Yes. All right. And let's release this side. And spin around. Take your time. Soft under your tongue, Heather, when you're looking for the ethmoid. Soft under your tongue, wide in the jaw joints. You'll find it quite easily that way. That's it, Jessica. You got it on this side. Okay, Dale, stay right there. Remember your manubrium? Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Nice, everybody. Again, remember not to just push hard one direction. There's always this pulsing. And then when it feels balanced, I see a couple of you have come out. When it feels balanced to you, come on out. That's a big twist. So you can see as you come out, take your time, please. You can see by putting your hands on the wall here in this particular twist, how profoundly the arm balancers put so much pressure into your body because you get your whole body weight over it. So it's really good to, if you are interested or if you do those things, to warm up with these ways that you find the support going all the way through your body, not in and across your spine in one spot. Right. All right, let's come to dandasana. So easy seated. And if your back is feeling in any way tender from a big twist, do take a strap to stabilize everything back into neutral. We always stabilize back to neutral. That's called counter pose. We always do that, you know? So if you go one way, you go the other way, you do want to come back to center. So holding your strap if you're using it, and using your strap to stabilize into your body. Now I'm showing you what I did when I got here out of patterning. You see my position? My embodied sense here is that my buttock bones are back, and in fact they are. Why am I doing that? Are you doing that? Go ahead and do it. If you weren't doing it, do it. This kind of thing. So I'm way overdoing it now, but that's okay. This kind of thing. Now, what if you just turn your pelvis, you just roll on your ischial tuberosities, just that. I didn't get any more connection, which is interesting. However, if I get this out of my body and I connect the ischials with the earth under me and with my feet out there, positionally, I have changed, but I don't change because I changed position. I changed because I made this connection. So I'm suggesting that these are things that you can play with both now and on your own when you're practicing. Let's take janusirsasana. So feel free to be up on a blanket if you know that you actually drop back and round your back. Of course, you're going to be up on a blanket. Now, I'm going to draw. You are going to draw this leg, one of your legs. I'm taking my left. Draw your left leg in, integrating it in through the pelvic half to open it like so. And then slide it back out. It's the same connectivity. The ischial tuberosities going with the foot. So I end up at the right place. And let's do the other side. And I'm going to watch if I can see you. I'm going to watch. Take the other side and do the movement. Okay, I missed everybody because you did it. So do it again. Good, and take it back. Yes. And do it again, the other side. And take it back. Now, if this is irritating your back, don't do it. If it's irritating your back because there's an instability in the sacrum already or something like that, don't do it. But I want you to do it again. If it's all right. If it's irritating your back, sit at neutral with your strap on, please. All right. Here's what I want you to do this time. Lakshmi, can you back up in your room just a little bit so I can see your legs better? All right, this is what I want you to do this time. I want you to not just, hi Peggy, not just from here, because that's actually not it. It's not bad. You're differentiating your pelvic halves and it's good. But what would be even more exciting and integrating to you would be to initiate with the foot as well. So my foot is awake immediately as I'm drawing that. I'm not doing just an action up here. Start playing with it. So you can do this kind of thing. You can go, yeah, let your side bodies move. Let your body move. Beautiful. That's the idea. All right, that's it. All right, let's make it into janusirsasana. So perhaps choose your right leg to take it back. Use the whole foot, pelvic half. It's not just the bone, you know that. It's like all the squishy stuff inside too. And then it will automatically, when you do this, it's going to turn your torso. That's what happens if you don't inhibit it. So let it turn your torso. Do you see what I mean? All right. So having turned your torso, now janusirsasana, you're going to turn around toward the leg, the front leg. You see what I mean? And in turning toward the front leg, I'm going to let that back leg half come a little bit forward again. I did an organic thing. We did an organic thing. And then we do an organic thing and we come back out and over. Play with it. Yep. And take janusirsasana. Good. And then let's release this side, whichever side you've done. And so you come up and you're kind of straight, you know, there's no reason you can't bring that leg back around. But I'll tell you what, if you don't give little room in it, you're going to be cranking in the joint. You see that? That's cranking in the joint. So instead, I'm going to come up a little bit, give a little bit of room in it, and then I can come around without any agitation in the joint. One of the great values of getting older is you can actually feel if you're irritating your joints. If you irritate them and you don't know about it for many, many years, you get joint issues. All right, other side. So we bring it around. And it's like, you know, it's like when a baby plays, the baby's like, oh, what's up there? And then, oh, but it's over here. Okay. I come back around. And then, going in, restful body, restful mind, flexion, janusirsasana. And then you're coming back up. So you swing the buttock bones forward to come up. And then you give a little room back there on the bent leg and then come around it. Lovely. Just reach up and elongate your spine here in your dandasana situation. Couple breaths. And release. Let's finish in viparita karani. So you'll come down, have a block or bolster for your hips, and lengthen your torso down, lengthen your torso and your vertebral column. And when you're ready, choose the height that you want for your block today, and take your hips up. Now, in viparita karani, ideally, your sacrum will be supported on your block. That's ideal. So if you have the block in this wide way, you might have some of your ischial bones on it, but your sacrum wants to be the keystone of this posture. And you take your legs up. And scoot your shoulders under you just a bit so that you are free in your cervical spine and your skull. No flattening of your cervical spine. There's a little, almost an upward. Don't look up, but just straight up. Gaze, not down your body. Straight up, heavenward. All right. And bend your knees, take your feet to the floor. Draw your block out and come down. Knees to chest, curling up a little. And then the chest and the head back down, and perhaps you make circles with your knees. Perhaps you come into a full twist for a couple breaths on each side, up to you. And then everybody setting up to your comfort with your comfort products. Could be just the earth and you, or it can be mounds of pillows and for Shavasana.